Hello everybody, welcome to This Old Cook. Today we're going to be making some lovely barbecue ribs, but we're going to be doing them in the oven. Not everybody has a barbecue but really enjoys the barbecue flavour. So if you've seen my other previous two recipes for barbecue sauce and the barbecue rib rubs, we're going to be using both those sort of ingredients in this dish. If you haven't seen them, go check them out before you make this. I will do a follow-up video of barbecue ribs actually cooked on the barbecue low and slow, but that's a video for another day. So without further ado, we'll go over there. I'll show you how to prep the ribs and what we do after that. Back in a minute. Right, so here we have a lovely rack of baby back ribs. On the underside of these ribs, they have like a membrane just here. You can just, well, you can't, you can just see the membrane a little bit. I'm going to show you how to remove that. You don't have to remove it. I often don't bother. Nobody's going to die if you don't remove it. But a lot of folks like to remove it, and it helps the flavour get into the meat better, apparently. So get a paper towel, and I think you can kind of see that. It's not easy. You need a paper towel because you can't grip it with your fingers, and then it just peels off. Can you kind of see that? Yeah, sort of. It's the only thing you can really use to get it off successfully. Just use it, the tip of your knife, just to loosen a little bit. Then get your paper towel and get hold of it and tear it off. He says. Just don't cut your arms or legs off or anything. As you see, it's all coming off. So, right, I'll get on and do that, and then we'll come back and show you the next step. Right, so here we have a deep roasting tin. I've got my racks of ribs in. You need to preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius. 160 degrees Celsius. So what we're going to do with these ribs, we're going to now sprinkle the rib rub quite generously over the ribs. The rib rub that we made just the other day, in fact. Not a massive amount, because you want to be able to taste the pork. Porks, the baby backs are quite subtle in flavour. A nice coating. That's it. That's fine. You can stay if you've got like 4 racks or whatever, you can just overlap them like this. That is absolutely fine. So just give my hands a little wash. And what I'm going to do is into the roasting tray here, I'm going to add a little drop of water. Just enough just to cover the bottom. What's going to happen is the ribs are going to kind of steam in this. We're going to cover them with foil. Sorry about the sound. Nice tint of foil over. and we're going to put them in the oven for 1 hour and 45 minutes. When that's done, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. These are only going to take 2 hours. There's nothing you need to do, and just leave them for 1 hour and 45 minutes. So when that's happened, I'll get them out, show you what they look like, move on to the next step. Back shortly. Right, so after 1 hour and 45 minutes, taking the ribs out the oven, we're going to take the foil off. Beautiful, smells glorious. Now, you see how the meat's pulling back from the bones? That's just what you need. Bit of a skewer test. Yeah, that's just right. Because you don't want the meat falling off the bone. You don't want to bite into it and then everything like falls down his shirt. So what we're going to do now, for the last 15 minutes, the barbecue sauce recipe we made the other day, I'll put a link to that in the description down below. We're just going to give them a base with this beautiful barbecue sauce. Oh God, look at that. Oh. You know, I can't tell you how good that smells. It's like glorious stuff. Look at the colour of that. Generous. Be generous with the barbecue sauce. Don't worry about me keep dipping this in the sauce, because we'll be making extra anyway. So now we'll give it a quick turn over. Be gentle with the ribs. You don't want everything to fall apart. You see that okay? Yes, I think you can. Baste this side. If you want to, you can just finish these off on the barbecue. If you've got a barbecue, but you're cooking loads of other things, then just finish this stuff off on the barbecue. It's all good. It'll caramelize nicely. Right, so we're going to pop this back in the oven at the same temperature for another 10 minutes. And then we're going to get it out and give it another baste. So I'll come back when I'll take it back out the oven. See you in a minute. So now, after 10 minutes or so, we've taken them out of the oven. Going to give them a little turn. The smell, I can't tell you how good that smells. It's like fabulous. We're going to give them a final basting with this barbecue sauce. Be really generous this time. It's the last basting you're going to get. As I said, if you want to finish these off on the barbecue, then and baste it with this, it works. It works really good. But if you don't have a barbecue, these are just glorious ribs. Be really generous with that sauce, because it is so good. Check that out. Right, I'm going to put that back in the oven for another 10 minutes, and then we're going to get them out and I'll show you what it's like then. They'll be ready. They'll be so ready. Back in a minute. Right, so after a further 10 minutes, the ribs are done and they're ready. They smell like fantastic. These you can now just cover these with foil, and that you can hold them in the oven, in a nice warm oven, for like quite a while. That's like, look at that. That's just what you want, because if it was too soft, when you bite into it, everything would just fall apart. You don't want that. You want a little bit of firmness, so that when you bite it, it comes off the bone clean, if you understand what I mean, but doesn't just fall all over your plate. So I'm going to pop them in the oven while I cook the rest of the stuff we're having for barbecue tonight, and I'll show you what they look like uh, when they're on the plate and ready to go. You've got to do these. These are just beautiful. Back shortly. Okay, so ribs are ready. Let's get them on the plate. Check that out. Look at that. Oh my God, it smells so good. So they're not absolutely falling apart, but they're so tender. They are so glorious that you just won't be able to get enough of these. You can just do them in the oven, in your home oven. You don't need a barbecue. Uh, and they're just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I wish you had smelly vision. Look at that. Get those ribs out. Oh my God. They're so good. Well, we're going to dish these up now and we're going to chow down like beasts. See you on the next one.